Every time I do these weight things, I have to do my disclaimer. So whenever you're listening to the lose weight hypnosis that I'm going to do in another video, please don't drive as you do the hypnosis. Don't use heavy machinery. Don't fall asleep in front of a rabid dog ready to attack you. Just to make sure this will work and you will not get into an accident because of me trying to help you to lose weight. So here I come. I need to do the disclaimers, and I think that's all I need to do. Just make sure that you're not driving while doing the hypnosis, not listening to it while you are using machinery, and not when you're at the zoo at the lion's cage. If you think of something, please remind me, but that's all I can think of right now. Anyway, how do you think as a skinny person? As I said in my other video, please wear larger clothing to deceive your subconscious mind. Step number 2, stop counting calories. That's insane. That makes your life so focused on food that there's no way you can lose weight. And then some people may argue and say, well, that's the method that has worked for me. If that method has worked for you, keep on using it. And I'm happy for you. But if that method has not worked for you, then keep on listening, because I don't advocate for counting calories. Do you remember as a little baby that your mom gave you your milk, and when you were full, you wouldn't drink anymore? Even when the doctor said baby should drink 4 ounces of milk, you wouldn't take more than 2. And your mom would be desperate, and especially if you were the first child, your mom would say, oh my gosh, what's wrong with my baby? The doctor said the baby must take 6 ounces and baby's taking only 2. Well, you trusted, back then, you trusted your body. You did trust your body. And your body said, stop drinking milk. I'm full. And you couldn't care less on what the doctor, your mother, all the family and neighbors had to say. Then you grew older, you were trained to clean your plate, and at some point in life, you didn't feel full anymore, because this little valve in your stomach that tells you, please stop eating, I'm full, he doesn't care anymore, because you have learned not to listen to it in the first place. So if you don't listen to it, it goes on a strike and say, hey, if you don't listen to me, why on earth am I going to be talking to you anymore? So you made that little ball that tells you, I'm full, you made it mad. You made it mad because you don't listen to it. All the birds, all the animals, the horses, the cows, the donkeys, the spiders, the cockroaches, the ants, everybody listens to the little valve. That's why they're not overweight, but you don't listen to your valve, to the valve. Then you say, well, food is so yummy. How can I stop eating? Well, food is like a car. It's a means. A car is a means to take you from point A to point B. And I know if you're a car lover, you're going to shoot me and say, hey, no, a car is much, much more than that. Okay. Yeah, I did have a boyfriend who was crazy about his car, and the day that I said, for me a car is a means to get from point A to point B, he broke up with me, and I still don't get it. But anyway, he doesn't get the way I am anyway. So for me, well, no, not for me. The food is fuel. It's fuel, period. If you're feeling depressed because you need soothing, why don't you take deeper breaths instead? That's more healing. That take bigger bites of food. Anyway. So, counting calories doesn't work. When you were a baby, you couldn't care less what the doctor said or what the expert said. You said, I'm not hungry anymore, that's it. I don't care if nobody likes me. But then, you know what? We were trained to overeat. Because if we were mourning, we would eat. If we were celebrating, we would eat. If we were happy, we would eat. If we were angry, we would eat. So we got trained. We trained ourselves. People trained ourselves to eat whenever we had any emotional situation. Not cry. Do not cry. Do not blow your nose. Just eat. That's weird, but there are families like that. I remember one day I went to my friend's ranch. I have always been like petite. And everybody in my friend's family, they were so overweight. So I went to their ranch for Easter, so it was like a whole week. They ate like 2 servings of soup, 2 servings of milk, 2 servings of cheese, 2 servings of everything. And for me, that was way too much. But my friend's parents wouldn't take a no for an answer. So they overfed me because they thought I was not eating right because I was full. So in order for me to be nice and agreeable, I ate all the food they gave me. After 3 days, I was so sick of in my stomach. I couldn't. I threw up. I was very sick. So I stayed in bed for a couple of days. And you know what they did to make me feel better? They would bring me chicken soup. I was like, what's wrong with them? And what I realized later in life, when I learned about people's habits, they are trying to tell me how much they care about me in the way they know. And that's feeding me. No wonder everybody in that family was obese. And I got sick because in my family I was never trained to care for others by giving them food. So in order for you to be skinny again, you have to reward yourself and find ways to reward yourself without food. So you start taking food and calories and pounds and diet food out of your mind, out of your system, out of your life. Skinny people are not talking about diets all day long. Why are overweight people talking about diets all day long? Why? Because they're always thinking about food. You start thinking about food, you're going to be attached to food, and you will not be able to let go of food. If you start thinking about Barack Obama, force yourself to think about Barack Obama, whether you like him or not. Just obsess yourself. Consciously try to check on the guy. What is he doing? Follow him on Twitter. Check his website every day. Listen to him. Before you know it, you're obsessed with Barack Obama. Why? Because you trained yourself to be obsessed with him. Okay, 8 minutes. We're doing fine so far. So, you trained yourself to be obsessed with food. All you need to do is obsess yourself with somebody else, with something else, something that is healthy, a hobby, creativity. You know, we're very creative. Don't kill your creativity, and there are careers and there are jobs that don't allow us to be creative. If your job doesn't allow you to be creative, go home, have a light meal, and then find a hobby that allows you to be creative. You know, skinny people, if they go to a restaurant and the menu includes dessert, they're going to be playing with their food and say, hey, I didn't ask for dessert. They are going to be even somehow disappointed. Don't play with your food. Don't think too much about it. Skinny people tend to be more, not all the time, but sometimes more health conscious. And overweight people tend to be more taste conscious. So if a skinny person is having a bite of chocolate cake, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is not good for me. This is full of fat and full of chocolate. I don't think this is good for me. So before you know it, they just take 2 bites and just let it go. But overweight people, they are like, oh my God, this is so good. I can't believe it. And I shouldn't be eating it, but it is so good, so good. So you overly enjoy it. Just brainwash yourself and say, hey, it's okay. Hey, it's okay. Even when you do have this little voice inside of your head that says, are you kidding me? This is decadent. Whatever. Just start convincing yourself, oh well, whatever. Don't go to the diet aisles in the supermarket. Buy whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want. Especially if you're hungry, don't go grocery shopping if you're hungry. Just have a good meal. Then go grocery shopping. And then be health conscious. Health conscious, not calorie conscious. Because if you go to the aisle where the healthy choice, and well, I don't want to thrash them because they work. So for some people they work. But if you're always thinking diet, you're always thinking deprivation. And if you're thinking deprivation, you don't want to be deprived of that. Then you want to have more. So in my next video, I'm going to make a hypnosis. I know I'm going to do a hypnosis. I know I keep on promise. But before I do the hypnosis, I want you to realize that there are some minor changes in your everyday life that you can make, and you will succeed. Because in the end, it's not that hard. Ask any skinny woman or man, is it hard for you to be skinny? And very likely they'll say no. And you say, why not? Because I'm not thinking about food. I'm thinking about my hobbies. I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about my whatever. Barack Obama, if somebody followed my advice and they obsessed themselves with him, whatever. Anyway, my next video is going to be a very powerful hypnosis for you to lose weight. If you want more free hypnosis, you can always go to my website. I have more downloads there, but those are not video. Those are MP3. So whatever. But I'll make a video of how to lose weight hypnosis, and it's going to work wonders for you. So I wish you the best, and I'll see you in my next video.